Hello and welcome to the RPG Lounge. This is going to be a tutorial for one of my more favorite games. They actually made an HD remaster for the PC a while back called Resonance of Fate. And I see this game getting a huge barrier. The price for admission for this game and its battle system can be pretty high. And it deserves a good explanation. So I'm going to give you a basic explanation as to what to do. So we're in the home base. This is where you'll likely start the game. Let's see here. All right, we don't have to do this yet. All right, just had to click on the window. Oh, let me actually get us to the game screen instead of that. There we go. You got to see my title screen for my streams and things like that. So, all right, let's get to it. So you'll start here. This is your little main base. So I want to actually show you where we're gonna do stuff. At the beginning of the game, you will, I think, eventually get access to the arena. Very nice place to go because this is where you're going to level up and do a lot of your grinding for skill levels. It's also a good place to show you how to do battle in this game. All right, we'll talk to this guy. And we'll get into a combat challenge. Let's see. So you've got all these ranks to go through. It's quite extensive. Let's go ahead and do rank 16, level 4. We'll try it. Let's see. We should be fine. I just want to make sure it's the right kind of enemies here. All right. So I'm sure you've seen a ton of Steam reviews where that's going, the battle system is so hard and difficult to learn and blah, 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 blah. I will say it is kind of complicated at first. I'll walk you through a couple battles and talk through my reasoning and all this great fun stuff. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a little bit better idea of what to do. Now, we have 3 types of weapons. We have handguns, we've got submachine guns, and then eventually you will get access to grenades. Okay, so we got that covers that, the 3 weapons. Usually you'll be wanting to use machine guns and handguns, which you can customize. That would be a totally different video. So, here's our 3 characters. All right, we're going to hit, in this case, it's on a PlayStation 4 controller, square button. See how that sends a little line out? That's the direction we're going to run. There's lots of running and movement in this battle system, by the way. You'll see in a second. It's really, really cool. So, now if you'll notice, it's kind of glowing. Now it's not glowing. Glowing. Not glowing. So you have to draw, in your head, draw a line between our person on the left and our person on the right. So we're crossing their path. You want to be doing that. And I'm going to show you what we're going to kind of set up. I'm going to send her this way. I'm going to use my little directional buttons to change my target. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit square again. Our weapon is charging up. That's what that circle is. And then you hit circle button to attack. That's step 1. Alright. Now you can hit your shoulder buttons, the R1 and L1, to switch between characters. But you can do that, yay. We're going to use our little Zephyr here, that's his name. We've got Leanne Zephyr and Vacheron. Alright, we're going to hit square button. Now, you can actually see it now. You see the line between Vacheron and Leanne all the way up in the right-hand corner? Okay. We're going to take our character here and cross that line. So we're going to hit square now. All right. Now the fun starts. The battle system in this game is based on creating something called tri-attacks. And tri-attacks allow us to run in a triangle around the battlefield and fire off our weapons to the enemies and basically annihilate them. It's a combo system. So it is not, it's both turn-based, but it's also you're wanting to set up these tri-attacks. That is the biggest thing you have to understand about the Resonance of Fate battle system. They do allow you to just individually attack enemies, but don't do it. You'll end up dying because you will run out of. You only get a certain amount of turns. I will direct your eyes to the bottom middle of the screen. If you see these little chips, they're almost like a slanted square thing. Those are your turns. You regenerate turns by doing critical hits, defeating enemies. Sometimes you'll get them if you're breaking armor of an enemy, and you'll keep getting those. Now, the cool thing, the reason why you set up tri-attacks is you only use one of those boxes when you set up a tri-attack and do it. So we're going to do a tri-attack just so you can see what the heck it is, and we'll kind of explain as we go. Alright, so we're hitting the triangle button, which is the top button on my Xbox, or my PlayStation 4 controller. See this cool little triangle that we made? Do you see the little dots moving around? That's going to be our the direction that we're going. If you want to change direction that you're going to be running, hit triangle again, or reverse it. So, this is where we have to understand another aspect of the battle system. There are two types of damage. Actually, there's three types. There's scratch damage, which is done by submachine guns, which is Leanne. You can switch these, but I always use Leanne because she's cool. And then there's direct damage, which is handguns and stuff. And then there's like concussive damage, which is grenades, Molotov cocktails, that kind of stuff. For us, we're going to be using scratch damage and direct damage. All right. You can change members of the tri-attack, and you always start your tri-attacks, if you can, start it with doing scratch damage. This is the weirdest thing to get used to, is scratch damage does not immediately damage the enemy. It piles up a stack of damage on the enemy, and then when you hit that same enemy with a handgun, aka the direct damage, it transforms that into actual damage on the enemy. It is weird, I know. At the same time, I'll show you what we're going to do. So we got our tri-attack going. We're starting with Leanne. We're going to go to the left. And all of us are going to go around this triangle a couple times. We're actually going to go probably two rotations, I think it is. Might be three. Rotations depend on how many times you've crossed the paths of your other characters. We're going to do a couple of these battles, so you won't have to learn this all in one battle here. But let's go ahead and hit square button to start our tri-attack. We're going to hit square to jump, because it's just cool to do it. We just converted scratch damage into direct damage. Leon's going to do more scratch damage on this enemy. Going to hit circle. We just converted it to direct damage. Leon's doing more, and we just converted it. Leon's going to do a little bit more scratch damage. So it's consistently, as we're going around this circle, or the triangle, we are constantly doing scratch damage, converting it into direct damage. Alright, so we've stopped our tri-attack. We killed, I think, 2 or 3 enemies with that particular combo. So now we've got to do it again. So we want to be able to take on that enemy. Hit the L1 or R1 buttons to go around and see where everybody's positioned. Now this time, I want you to see there's a line between Leanne and Vacheron right now. You always want to be crossing the paths of your other 2 characters. At least when you have 3 characters. Later on in the game, they actually take away one of your characters for a chapter, and then you have to do battles without doing tri-attacks, which is a nightmare, but it's doable. I might have to do a video on that at some point, but we're going to cross their paths so we can set up another tri-attack. So here we go. We're going to hit square. I'll jump into the air because it's fun. Okay, that you just saw it said gauge broken. That's like a critical attack. It's not exactly like that, but you can break their gauge and it makes them stagger, and if you can actually see the stars on the top of their head, so they're kind of knocked out a little bit, which is actually kind of nice. It decreases their defense, all that good fun stuff. If you have an armored character that you're up against, it'll break off pieces of armor too, which that's a thing, especially in the bosses. You have to break them apart into pieces and such, and it's quite the process. So now that we've crossed our path, we can set up another tri-attack. So we're gonna start with Leanne because Leanne's gonna start our scratch damage with her submachine gun. Now you can set up your characters however you want. With you could have Vacheron be doing the scratch damage or Zephyr doing the scratch damage. But what I always want, you always want one thing that's doing scratch damage, and either 1 or 2 handgun folks to convert that scratch damage into direct damage against enemies. Grenades will also convert scratch damage into direct damage as well. All right, so we got another tri-attack coming in. We're gonna go ahead and use the directional button, either left or right on your directional buttons, and you can change the target. We're gonna go after this little paused guy. So you actually do want to be a little bit inefficient with your hitting. So let's do our tri-attack here. So I will charge her up really quick, and then I'm just gonna pop the circle button and go to town here. Apparently we did not get any of the other people to do their things, which is annoying. So since we didn't convert any scratch damage into direct damage, we are going to do that now. We're going to hit square, and this is the guy right here that's got all this scratch damage on him. I think you can even see it. Yeah, you can. There's a little icon there that's kind of saying, oh! If you look at his little health bar, it's got a little thing that tells you how much scratch damage he's taken, and that little bar will actually go all the way down further once we convert this. So we're also gonna cross the paths of our other 2 teammates. And I'm gonna charge up, and we just converted it. So now we're set up for another tri-attack because we crossed the paths of our other friends here. So we would like to... Where is it? Where is our little... Oh, he's right up there. Okay, last enemy. So we can... We can go this way. It'll be fine. What is it? Counterclockwise, basically. So we'll charge her up real fast. There we go. Threat suppressed. Involved, isn't it? Let's do another one. We'll probably do about 3 or so battles. I will show you this also here, real fast. Reason to come to the arena? Watch this. There is a huge, wonderful tutorial for the entire battle system. You can go through this. I'm doing just the basics because even to get through that tutorial of all of those things, you need to know how to do just the basic stuff. Setting up yourself for tri-attacks so you can do the combos, so you can kill enemies, so you never, ever start out by just hitting the X button and just trying to attack these enemies one by yourself. That is not a good idea. Ever, 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 ever to do that. You will not kill enemies that way. It just won't work. I don't even know why they give you the option to just attack by yourself. Let's do another one of these. Let us do another one of these. So, whoever you have in the center of your grouping, whether that's Vacheron or Zephyr, or in my case, Leanne, you start with them first. Again, hit square. I'm going to bring her to the right to start building that first section of the triangle. We're going to hit square, and then I'm probably going to jump in the air with circle, and then start attacking with the circle button. Because it's just fun. Alright. So, we have created scratch damage. Awesome. Alright. We're going to make our second part of our triangle. Get it as wide as possible so we get the most bang for our buck when we do our tri-attack. So we can do, yeah, around there. All right. You don't have to get real technical with the triangles. They don't have to be right triangles or isosceles or any kind of geometric name for them. I'm sure they are those things. I always go to make the longest possible running routes. So you want to make pretty long sides to your triangle. So we're going to make our left side of this triangle. Here we go. Press square button. Convert some scratch damage. You can also, while you're running, you can hit the directional pad and change your targets. I just did it right there, so you can change targets. So if you've put scratch damage on multiple enemies, you can cycle through them and convert them all, and be a badass and completely destroy the whole team of enemies. All right, so we are ready to do. We're going to hit triangle. We're going to go to Leanne because she is our scratch damage person. We're going to change directions by hitting the triangle button. I do not know what the buttons are on Xbox One or whatever you got. It is the top button. On PlayStation 4, it's the top button, the triangle button. On I don't remember. It's probably like A, B, A. It might be the Y button on an Xbox controller. I'm not sure. Actually, I can look. Standard Xbox controller, it is the Y button. Okay, I'm just looking at my old Xbox controller. But all right, let's go ahead and hit square, and we're going to do this again. There goes Leanne. Now, I'll usually fully charge her up. And then you can have somebody jump. Alright, we'll jump up for a second. I want to be able to show you this, but it's hard to set up sometimes. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to set it up. You can actually launch enemies into the air, which is kind of cool. And then once they're in the air, you can shoot them from above and smack them into the ground. It's called a smackdown. If I can, it's literally called that. I'm not making it up. If we can set it up, I will show you. Let's find. All right. Well, I do want to do another tri-attack. It's gonna be a crappy one, but if you get scrunched up really, really close to each other like this, it really makes the tri-attack kind of suck. But we can use it. Should be fine. Alright. Get a buttload of scratch damage on this one. Now, when you start out the game, you're going to have one handgun for, like, your other two, and you're going to have one submachine gun. I have two submachine guns because I'm further along in the game. I've got two handguns on Vacheron, and I think I've got two handguns on Zephyr. So we're doing a lot more damage and stuff. You'll also start out with fewer of those little chip things on the bottom center. Probably have 3 or 4. You unlock those by unlocking parts of the map. The whole map is all covered with these hexagonal little grid things, and you use these little puzzle pieces to unlock it. And every once in a while, when you unlock an area on the world map, you will unlock one of these little chips. So it really is a very good idea to unlock the entire map. Every square that you can, because the more of these turns you get, the better off you're going to be. So, alright, we are going to... Alright, we're going to try a really small little tri-attack. So let's get Vacheron to go through the center of Leanne and Zephyr's little line there. There we go. So we can do a tiny tri-attack. We'll give it a try here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. He's still flying up into the wilderness here. Can we get a smackdown? Come on! Yes, we got one! So, another aspect of leveling up your skills and things like that is you want to actually be as inefficient as possible, because you don't get experience based on the enemies you kill. You get experience on how many shots you do into an enemy. So your submachine gun person will usually level up a little bit faster. But yeah, you want to be inefficient, which I know makes no sense whatsoever. But that is the way it works. So, yeah. Especially with... and your enemies, when you do like smackdowns and all that kind of stuff, they drop more items and such. You can see all those sparklies over there. That's all items that we can sell for money. Alright, we're not going to be able to get another tri-attack going. At least not right away. So we're going to send Leanne basically off to start another triangle. So let's start one of those from scratch. That's probably a good thing to learn too. And we'll hit that enemy on the upper right-hand corner there with some scratch damage. Get her charged up. And we'll do a jump. Jumping does allow you to stay in this running animation for a little bit longer. So it is worthwhile doing. It's not just for flash and flare. It allows you to get a few more hits in. Alright. So we are going to convert that scratch damage. Do that. We got him. Alright. And now we've set up a tri-attack once more. And of course, we'll start with Leanne first because we need her to build up the scratch damage. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. And threat suppress. Every time you win a battle, it refills your your little turn gauge on the bottom there. And we get copper coins, which we can actually spend on stuff, including guns. Once we start getting gold coins, we'll be able to get some stuff. You can get experience trainers, which increase your experience gain. So this is actually a really good place to do your leveling and such. You can get the little map. They're called map hexes, and there are different colors of them. You'll experience that during the game. That's a whole nother aspect of the game. It's not hard. It's like playing, I don't know, like Tetris on the world map or something like that. It's pretty fun, pretty cool little system. Let's do one more, and I think I'll call this a successful just walkthrough for this particular system. I did this video on my old channel many years ago, and it helped a lot of people to just kind of understand the basics. There are some other layers, but the layers that they add to the battle system are like, using your grenades. You can use different types of ammo for your guns that might have an elemental effect or piercing damage or ice effect or something. So it adds a little bit of nuance. What I want you to be able to understand is the ground rules of how to play the game when you're doing battles. That's really the major idea of this. No, I didn't change my mind. I just hit the wrong button. Let's do one more battle. All right. Begin combat. Now you start your 3 characters, whoever your setup is. Square. And yes, this does get a little bit repetitive in the arena. When you're in actual levels and dungeons and stuff, you'll have all sorts of different little obstacles all over the place that you'll have to either jump over or move around or do all those kinds of things. So it does get more strategic when you're not in the arena. But we're here, so I just wanted you to be able to see it without obstructions. All right, we're going to hit the square button. Charge up our girl, Leanne. Jump. Didn't get a smackdown. That sucks. All right. We'll create our second wall of our triangle. Convert that scratch damage Leanne did. Alrighty. We also, since we killed that enemy that Leanne started the scratch damage on, we regained one of our little chips on the bottom. You're always wanting to at least kill enemies and or get some sort of a critical hit, because you always want to be regaining those little chips on the bottom. Because when you have like 3 or 4 at the beginning of the game, or even like 2, it's extremely important to get this stuff regenerated, or else you will go into a critical state and the game is usually battle's over usually when you go into critical state. There's this crazy music goes and all of your guys are like quivering and scared and they can't do squat. They are just in a horrible condition, so you don't want that to happen. It can still happen randomly every so often because enemies can hit like a truck sometimes, but yeah. All right, let's do our try attack. We're going to start out with Leanne because she's our scratch damage person. And we're going to keep doing that around and around like a merry-go-round. And we're going to do scratch damage and convert it into direct damage and rinse and repeat. Here we go. One down. Pew pew. Get a few charges on. They do more damage the more you charge, but like I said before, being inefficient will actually let you level your skills a little bit faster, like a lot faster. So be a bit inefficient. Especially in this situation, you're fine to do so. Alright, so let's do another tri-attack attempt. Get some scratch damage in. There we go. We leveled up our submachine gun skills. We're now level 77. There we go. Awesome. And since we put scratch damage on that enemy, let's start out with Vacheron. Have him convert that. That enemy's dead. We get back at Chip. And threat suppressed. There we go. So, yes, when the Steam or any reviews of this game, this got really review bombed when it came out because of this battle system. And once you understand it, it is really addictive and fun. But like I said at the beginning, the price of admission is pretty high. It's not as bad as like the battle system for like Baldur's Gate 3. That's really complicated. It's good, but it's really complicated. Hopefully this will help you, though, get started. Once you've really mastered the creation of tri-attacks and those combos and things of that nature, go through the battle tutorials. Yes, you have to master part of the battle system before you go to the tutorials, because that will add the next level of things to your gaming experience. How to switch your weapons, how to do all those kinds of things. It's not really that complicated to do, but get it on the tutorial, because you don't switch weapons all that often. You can, but I hardly ever do it. The only time I probably would ever do it is if I'm trying to level up my grenade skills. I'll switch between like the submachine guns and grenades, so I can do scratch damage with that character and do direct damage. But yeah, I don't do it a ton on the actual normal maps. But yeah, go ahead and use this guy over here, and he will send you through all of these and give you all the ideas you could ever want. I learn better when I see things being done, hence I wanted to do an in-action kind of in-battle little tutorial. But hopefully this helps you all out. If it did, please go ahead, like, subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment, all that good fun stuff. But yeah, usually I do RPG content and stuff on this channel, so if you like RPGs, both retro and modern, feel free to check out some of the other content on the channel. You have a great rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it happens to be for you. Hopefully you'll go and enjoy Resonance of Fate now. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.